Hello, vinyl community. It's Doodah Dave. We are now down to M for Joni Mitchell, one of the greatest singer-songwriters ever. Her 1976 album, Hejira, we're doing a review for today. All right, I was doing some research on this, and a lot of people consider Blue to be her greatest album. It is a great album. I love Court and Spark. I love Hissing of Summer Lawns. I love For the Roses, all that middle period. I have a lot of Joni. Big Joni fan, seen her live. But this album, with its black and white presentation here, you can see it's got all the lyrics inside. The writing, you've got Jaco Pastorius on bass. You've got John Guerin, one of her former lovers, on drums. You've got mastering by the great Bernie Grundman, who just did remastered the Steely Dan albums, starting with Can't Buy a Thrill, and many others, Rolling Stones, etc. Joni is in fantastic form here, I believe. And though there are, as often with Joni Mitchell, melancholy moments in this, as you can see, she's introspective, she's revelatory, she's exploratory. So let's get into it. First song, which is probably the greatest song on the album, the one she did at the band's Last Waltz. Later that year, this is 1976 on Asylum Records. I'll show you the label. Coyote was written about one of my favorite American playwrights, Sam Shepard. Little did I know that Joni had an affair with. There's the label, the famous Asylum label, David Geffen's label at the time. Geffen was really all over the singer-songwriter community, and I've done quite a few. I did Warren Zevon for Z, and I did Linda Ronstadt for R. I'm a big fan of that ilk. Jackson Browne, James Taylor, Carole King, though they were more Easterns that went west later. So Coyote, I got off track. Let me just read the first couple of lines to give you an idea of this album if you haven't listened to it, and I'm sure many of you have. No regrets, Coyote. We just come from some such different sets of circumstance. I'm up all night in the studios and you're up early on your ranch. You'll be brushing out a broodmare's tail while the sun is ascending, and I'll just be getting home with my reel-to-reel. There's no comprehending just how close to the bone and the skin and the eyes and the lips you can get, and still feel so alone, and still feel related, like stations in some relay. You're not a hit-and-run driver, no, racing away. You just picked up a hitcher, a prisoner of the white lines of the freeway. And that's pretty much what this Hejira is, a trip that is going away, a going away trip. And she had a cross-country trip when she was recording this album. She took some friends and went from California to Maine, and Maine back through Florida and back to California. Broke up with drummer Guerin, as I mentioned. Larry Carlton is on this album. Neil Young is on this album. It's got blues, it's got ballads, it's got it all, and the fretless bass of Jaco Pastorius. So check it out, Hejira by Joni Mitchell. Great back cover with the figure skater there. And you see the person in the wedding gown, which was not Joni, it was her friend. And Joni, she put a lot of work, she talks about, into how she made this cover. She's from Canada, and you can kind of see the skating, the winter black and white motif as well. And the iciness, the fire and the ice, right, underneath her. Very, very great album. Other standouts, I love Song for Sharon. It's got a lot of references to New York when she went to Mandolin Brothers, which is a guitar store on Staten Island. And her friend Sharon, who's depicted on the back cover, as I mentioned, the bride. Blue Motel Room. There's a lot of sorrow, a lot of Yeah, a lot of melancholy, a lot of depression on this album. Breaking up love affairs. It's well known that Joni Mitchell had a daughter, and she gave her up for adoption. She had a tortured life. She also mentioned one of my favorite people, Bob Dylan. My son Dylan, shout out to him, is named after him. She was on the road in the Rolling Thunder Review, which came out in '76, right after he did Blood on the Tracks. He went and Desire. He went out on the road. Well, Desire was kind of Desire came out of the Rolling Thunder Review, and Sam Shepard was in that as well. So that's what Joni and him hooked up. So many loves. Really want to express herself. The use of jazz, the use of lyrics, her chordal structure. She uses a lot of sustained chords in here, not to take Rick Beato's any flames from him. But Vinyl Community, check this out, Hejira. This has a sticker on it, you can see, for $3. Doodah Dave paid for that back in the, I don't know when, probably in the 70s, late 70s sometimes. And I highly recommend pretty much anything by Joni. Seen her quite a few times, I think 3 times live. The best show was up at the former Bethel Woods, before it was Bethel Woods, called Back to the Garden. And of course she did Woodstock there. And she wasn't at Woodstock, she wrote the song afterwards, and Crosby, Stills and Nash and Young, who were there, made it famous. So really good stuff on here. Check it out, Hejira. Refuge of the Roads is one of my favorite. It's a long. Tend to like the long songs on here. Amelia, which she did live a lot. Strange Boy. I'll list the tracks before we close up. Coyote, Amelia, Furry Sings the Blues, A Strange Boy, Hejira. Side 2 begins with Song for Sharon, Black Crow, Blue Motel Room, and Refuge of the Roads. So you can even the briefness in the titles and stuff, you can kind of get it's almost as if the telephone poles are going by as you're on the road, listening to the radio of the local station. So have a good one, Vinyl Community. I'll see you next time for, what are we up to? L. You can see my shirt here. I guess that's a little tease, if you can read that, for the L's. Although it's going to be tough. We've got, oh my God, we've got Little Feat. We've got Loggins and Messina. We have Led Zeppelin. That's going to be a packed one. So we'll see you then. Keep on spinning that vinyl. Turn it up loud and rock out. We'll see you soon. Joni Mitchell, Hejira, M. Thanks for listening. Oh, please hit the subscribe button and leave a comment down below if you want to about Joni Mitchell, anything you have to say about her. One of the great singer-songwriters ever. Put her up with Dylan, Paul Simon, Linda, Bonnie Raitt, Carole King, Aretha. She's fantastic. So we'll talk to you soon. All right, thanks, bye.